The possibilities of using glass in craft projects are unlimited, and Hangi uses interesting methods to turn glass into beautiful works of art through sandblasting. Dating back to the late 1800s, sandblasting has evolved and transformed over the years. Anne tells us about her love for this craft.
Sandblasting began in my life 38 years ago when I learned the craft through a very, very talented man called Wally Lipschitz, who at that stage was doing very big glass for Sun City, for all the big hotels, and it was very in vogue to have sandblasted glass and sandblasted mirrors, and it was really quite a huge thing. I started working from home and doing a few things from home when my children started coming along, and from there the business grew and it developed, and I'm now in a completely different space where I no longer have my little studio at home. I now work with my cousin in a huge factory, and it has been the most exciting ride. It's been frustrating, it's been delightful. Anything creative feeds your soul and it does something for you, and the best thing about sandblasting is that it's so quick.
With the difference between arts and craft not a clear-cut one, it all depends on the particular project that a person is working on.
I can honestly say that this kind of work brings out both sides of arts and crafts. For example, if we look at a beaded glass like this one, it does have craft elements because you have the beadwork on the stem of the glass. But there again, you have this delightful design which actually originates from mid-1600. And that's been translated onto glass, and that makes it precious. And something precious, to me, is something artistic.
There are many different types of glass surfaces on which you can use the sandblasting technique, from champagne and wine glasses, to windows, glass doors, and so much more.
The different designs that I do are inspired by so many different things, whether it be happenings in everyday life, whether it's if I drive into Newtown and I fall in love with the old buildings and the little hawker on the side of the road with his sign. I fall in love with the rural villages with their beautiful little thatched cottages. I fall in love with real ethnic African designs. They're so rich and they stir something within my soul. I'm inspired by flowers. I'm inspired by prints. It often takes me a while to develop a design. I will have something in mind and I'll have it on the computer, but there have been some designs that have literally taken 2 years to really come to the point where actually they work and they're perfect.
The process of sandblasting is quite technical, and when working on intricate designs, it's very important that you do it correctly for the best results.
The process involved in sandblasting starts out with the design on the computer. Once I have that design, it's sized to the correct size, I then cut the stencils, which I then pass on to my ladies, who then apply the stencils onto the glass. There's a knack to that as well, but they've been doing it for a number of years, and it really is something simple and quick to do. Once the stencil is applied, we pick out whatever needs to be sandblasted. The glass is sealed and closed so that the entire glass is protected from the sand process. It then goes out to the sandblasting booth, and my sandblaster sandblasts it. Once it's been sandblasted, it comes back inside to the studio to make sure that it's checked. It gets washed and peeled, and there it is. With regard to technical details, it's very important to make sure the stencil is applied absolutely smoothly, because of course if there are any little open areas, the sand will bleed into that stencil and you won't get a nice crisp, sharp finish, which I insist on. It's very important to have a crisp finish with sandblasting.
Anne has not only found the perfect platform to share her passion for this art form, but by starting her own factory, she's also created a number of jobs and now plays an important role in job creation and upliftment.
Sandblasting is a labor-intensive art form. And it's brilliant for South Africa because, of course, we've got so many people needing jobs. So the more work we get, the more people we can employ, and the more everybody's going to be happy.
As with any company, Anne has started small, but she has big plans for the future.
So it's brilliant to have all these other people to support us and to encourage us and to really help us to get the production to a point where we're ready now to start exporting. And that's the goal. We've got to start getting to a point where we don't just do our arts and crafts for local consumption. We've got to get to a point where we're manufacturing in bulk so we can send it overseas. They love South African products, and we need to be able to get to that point.